Peace. I come in the righteous name of Emir X. Now, I'm going to give y'all just a very, very quick build on how to see today's degrees. You know, in the nation of gods and earths, they got the supreme mathematics and with the supreme alphabets. Today's mathematics is knowledge, knowledge. Number one, knowledge. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. Knowledge is to know, such as the sun is a foundation of the solar system, that the Asiatic black man is a foundation of his family. Knowledge is to look, listen, and observe. Knowledge is the first step towards righteousness. Right? And since today's degree, which means today's date is what? The 11th. Right? That's number one and number one. That's knowledge, knowledge. Our being born to wisdom. Our being born means 1 + 1 = 2. Right? So number two, wisdom. Wisdom is the wise word spoken by the wise man. Wisdom is the manifestation of foundation, which is the knowledge. Right? Today's mathematics being knowledge and knowledge, you must understand that whenever the degree shows up twice, it means we should take a closer peep at it, a closer look at it, and see. So if knowledge is the foundation, we got to take a closer look at what our foundation is. We have to know the root cause of and why we are doing something, right? Before we manifest or draw something and push it forward or bring it forward, right? Just like God says in the supreme in the supreme God, the ministry, which you get from Brother Melchizedek, Supreme SHABAZZ Allah. I'll put his information below. But just like it says there in the book, we have to examine our thoughts and know what the root. Because if you got to look at what the foundation is, and knowledge is the first step towards righteousness, right? So what's that first step? We got to take a closer look at that. But also knowledge being the foundation. And just as the sun's the foundation of the solar system, that's very important. So we have to know why we are doing these things. And just like it says in the Supreme God, the Ministry book, it says people don't care how much we know. People won't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's right and exact. And that's how I see today's degree. So we can't be so self-centered, and we have to examine our God and ask ourselves the question: why are we doing this? Are we doing this for the good of the whole? Is you doing this with them in mind, or is you just doing it for yourself in mind? And obviously, we must do for self before we do for others. In order to love others, we must love ourselves. But sometimes, when you have a lack of self-confidence, you have to understand a low self-esteem, which we suffer from the slavery, the abuse, horrors, and atrocities, which is still present in our mind and plagues us, whether you believe or you're not a believer. It's just when you're a believer, it's removed from you and you put into that process. But regardless of who you are, we suffer from that. So a lot of our people are plagued with that low self-confidence. So when you have that, we try to, and in myself, I've seen this in my own self, so I can speak about it, because you start to try to make up for your lack of self-confidence. You think that no one likes you, so now you try to accentuate your own self. But it's not about you, it's about the messenger, and it's about Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of most honorable Master Farad Muhammad, and it's about the truth. And truth is not subjective, it's objective. So you must realize we're dealing with mathematics, so we cannot, and mathematics is Islam, and Islam is mathematics. So we cannot be so trying to just the whole time make ourselves look good or uphold the appearance of something that is not there. We have to actually have the substance. You can't just try to be real. You have to. It's like it says in the song, "I'm not real, I am." Or, I don't try to be real, I am. Right? It's like that. But now we got to think very close. Take a second look and think and look. Pay close attention to what the foundation of what you're doing and what you're furthering, and know the root cause. And sometimes we might come into it with the correct thinkings in the forefront of our mind, but by the time we get so out there, we step so far away from the foundation that we no longer support it, and that's where you fall down and have a mental collapse, a deep mental depression, a mental collapse, and an insanity, because you went away from the teachings. The root teacher is Almighty God Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom our praises due forever. And our messenger and our teacher, which was taught by him, was Allah, and he was sent to us by Allah. So that's the only one qualified for it. No one was walked with Allah and was taught by Allah for all them years, for them 3 years, and gave his life, death, life, and sacrifice, all for Allah. No one did that for 45 years. And also, no one was able to recognize Allah. And most of us who's speaking, we was not even alive back then, so we could not have done it. So don't think that you're better than somebody. Talk about you a high God. You're only what Allah make you. And if you step away from that, you no longer God. You're no longer true and living, right? So don't try to claim that which is not yours. But now today's supreme alphabet, that's number 11. K, King is Allah, who sits upon the throne and rules in his kingdom with the laws of nature. What's Allah's kingdom? That's the heavens. That's heaven, right? That's contentment, peace of mind, fearlessness, complete lack of grievance, right? That's the best of homes, best food, clothing, and shelter. Now, you must understand, and the earth being the home of Islam and a righteous nation being found on every area of the earth, thus cross that 196,940,000 square miles, the devil, these white grafted devils must be removed from every part. And also, not just did we only run Yaqub out of the root of civilization, we ran Yaqub and his grafted devil from the root of civilization over the high desert to the cave of West Asia, as they now call it Europe, over that 2,200 miles. But and that's obviously, since we know Yaqub did not live to see his devil actually be made fully, but Yaqub, meaning that mentality. So any Negroes who's with that has that mentality, that Yaqub mentality, trying to be a big head scientist, trying to be a 10% withholding information, trying to blood suck your brother. It might not be on a high level and through all this deception on the level the government's doing, but it's still a 10% blood sucker, and you will be removed. So we got to get out of that. So us trying to be selfish and have these incorrect things, have to step away from that. Now that's how I see that. Like I said, King is Allah, who sits upon the throne and rules in the kingdom with the laws of nature. Right? What are the 4 great judgments Allah gonna use to destroy Americas? And what's happening today? And you can see this around the world. And in the corrupt parts where these brothers is thinking they're gonna do something, exploit their own country, like what's happening in Africa and the Caribbeans, and which Africa is really East Asia. But rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. Those are the 4 great judgments. Right, those are the laws of nature which Allah gonna use in His kingdom and make heaven is not in the sky, heaven's on the earth, right? And the earth is the home of Islam, and the kingdom of Allah is heaven. So those are the same things. 1 and 1, they must come together. The 1 and 1 gonna make the 2, right? Elijah Muhammad, Master Farah Muhammad, made us the perfect rulers for the next nation. So now, what's today's? I'll get into today's actual facts. And I close out the build. Now today's actual facts. That's number 11. What are number 11? The islands are 1,910,000 square miles. Right. Now what are some islands? You look at the study of islands, you're gonna see the birth, the creation of the devils. You're gonna see the destruction of the devils. So now the devils, white race, was made on the island of Pelan. Yaqub's grabbed the devil, devilish men, right? On the island of Pelan, in the Aegean Sea, what's now called Patmos, called Pelan. That's what I call Patmos, Revelation, chapter 1, 9 verse, right? And now what was the mother plane, the shape, form, and fashion, and destruction, which Allah gonna use to destroy the devil civilization? It's a human-built planet, which was built on the island of Nippon in Japan, right? So if you get in the study of islands, there's actual facts dealing with islands, you're going to understand that the creation of the devil was dealt on islands, and the destruction and finish was prepared on the islands. Now that's all I had to build upon, because I only got 35 seconds left. So peace, all the guys on the earth, peace and nation Islam, and all my original black Asiatic family.